This show is experiencing quite the controversy. Half of the sources that I see say that Breadwinners is horrible and it's one of the worst cartoons Nickelodeon has ever put out. But the other half of sources really enjoy the show and give it a thumbs up. So, is the show good? Is it bad? Does it really matter what I say since everyone has their own opinion? Well, after seeing a considerable amount of episodes of the show, I'd say this show is like if somebody gave you a free burger, but the burger itself is covered in cactus spikes. You're gonna find out what I mean by that by the end of the review.
Buckle up, duckies, cause we got a rocket band, delivering bread, flying crazy cause we can.
Breadwinners premiered on Nickelodeon on February 22nd, 2014, and was created by Steve Borst and Gary I can't pronounce this guy's name. The show is centered on best friends Sway Sway and Badooz, two ducks whose passion is to mine and deliver bread to the citizens of their pond and eventually become master breadwinners.
These bread mines are like our home. They're our business. And no one comes into our house and gets up in our business.
Although a two main character's life purpose is to mine and deliver bread, an episode's plot doesn't necessarily have to revolve around that concept. Yeah, there are episodes that deal with conflicts in their job, but there are also plots about taking care of a newly hatched monster, procrastinating on doing the dishes, and quite a few other topics. So the show doesn't put all of its eggs in one basket. That wasn't meant to be a pun, by the way. It's not really a good pun. These guys are ducks. I mean, I know ducks lay eggs, but when you think eggs, like, the first bird that pops into your head is usually a chicken. So I guess, even if this was a pun, it wouldn't really be a good one. I can see how some people would despise the animation, but I think the reasons that other people hate it are the same reasons I kinda like it. The outlines of the characters are something I especially like. I'm not sure if you really notice it, but to me they kinda look like they were done with a leaky pen. The lines aren't perfect, and it actually makes the show feel a bit more organic. I also really like the video game theme it executes at times, whether it be with sound effects, scenery, or whatever. It always seems to deliver well in that aspect. This show also uses music to its advantage. Certain actions might be carried out to the beat of a pretty catchy tune.
I'll make it faster!
It's really nice, and I like it. I know that there are a lot of people out there who hate the use of stock images for the background characters, but that's just it. They're background characters. It kinda aids in portraying who is and isn't important to the plot. But then again, we do live in an age where background characters get treated with nearly the same respect as main characters. I'm looking at you, Adventure Time. So, would this be considered laziness? I guess it all comes down to the situation and how one deals with it. I'm not saying I'm in love with the concept, I'm just saying that I don't really have a problem with it existing. In this circumstance, at least. The show's writing, on the other hand, is something that I do have a problem with at times. The show's writing can be really clever and humorous in some places, but downright stupid and cringe-inducing in others. Some of the jokes are on the spot and get a little laugh out of me at times. Other jokes are just really annoying. The types of jokes that fall into this category tend to deal with butts or farts. Nothing is wrong with those kinds of jokes themselves, it's just how it's executed makes all the difference. Breadwinners does not execute these types of jokes well at all. Most of the times they seem quite forced, and whenever it happens you think, "No, this again, that was twice as funny as the last time, I love it, 5 stars, give it the Nobel Peace Prize, whoa, I'm being sarcastic." That isn't the only aspect that humor is challenged in. There's some jokes where the timing is off. The joke is there, and it has the potential to be funny, but it might take too long to deliver, or it's delivered at the wrong time, making the whole thing just fall flat. These are really the only problems I have with the show, but with a show that is meant to be humorous, It really needs to make sure to get that aspect right. However, with every bad joke or bad execution of an idea, there seems to be something alright to make up for it, so the show isn't completely shot. But just because half of a show is good doesn't mean the other half of junk gets a full pardon. It's still part of the episode and ruins the chance of one being able to fully enjoy the show. This is what I was talking about earlier with the whole burger covered in cactus spikes thing. The show has a lot of good stuff going for it, but it's ruined by the onslaught of spikes that are unneeded and out of place and just plain hard to accept and swallow. So to wrap things up, Breadwinners is a show with a great concept, good animation, but a mixed bag of writing and humor. If I had to recommend an episode, I guess it would be Rocket Trouble. I believe it's the best one so far. Or at least the one that's easiest to tolerate. So all in all, Breadwinners is alright. It's not horrible, but it's definitely no masterpiece either. Probably something to watch when nothing else is on. And if you don't agree, that's fine. After all, I'm just one opinion on the internet.